So, okay, I'm super excited. I've been holding off on this video because I've been waiting for the top paint manufacturers to release their color of the year for 2025. So I'm going to go through a few manufacturers. I'll tell you whether I like them or I don't, just to give you a kind of a sneak preview. This is Benjamin Moore's color of the year. Not sure I like it. You guys like it? Kind of eggplant. I don't know. Anyway, I'll dive into a few colors. And the question is now that we have these colors of the year from these various paint manufacturers, if you are selling your home, should you be painting your house these colors? Or should you be painting maybe an accent wall of some of these colors? Or should you be kind of leaning in and using some of these colors as a guidance for maybe accent pillows or someone? So we'll get into that in just a minute. I'm also going to tell you my top paint colors, and I will link all the stuff down in the description. And I'm also going to go over what paint sheens you should use for various different things and the quality of paint you should be using if you're selling your home. It's going to be a great video. I love this video. All right, let's get into it. So in my professional opinion, and by the way, my name is Audra Lambert, top selling realtor in Orange County, California. And yes, I used to have my own interior design business called Cashmere Design. So I have a little bit of professional experience in this interior design bit. More importantly, I hear from buyers what they're looking for, what their response is when they're viewing homes. So when you're going to sell your house, if you're watching my channel, I'm going to tell you to stick with neutrals. Neutrals is the way to go. We want the house to look light and bright, and we need to be careful about trends when we're selling your home. Now, I'm going to go through the paint colors right now, the color of the year for, let's say, the top 3 manufacturers. I'm going to tell you my opinion. And then we're going to talk about what you should do. In all the top paint manufacturers, there seems to be 2 prominent colors that I'm seeing over and over again. And that is this kind of reddy Cabernet wine color. It's a really dark red or some type of derivative of that. And the other color that we're starting to see is this mauve or this purple, lavender. Okay, these are 2 colors that I'm really not in love with. However, if done properly, they can look beautiful. So let's go look at Behr's color palette in 2025. So you can see Behr's color palette in 2025 is a lot more vibrant than in past years. Their color of the year for 2025 is a color called Rumors. Now, do we like the color Rumors? I don't know. I'm not in love with it. If you're selling your house, I hope you guys know what I'm going to tell you. Like, stay away from bright colors because they're very style specific. They're very personalized. You want to go neutral when you're selling your home. So the color Rumors, in my opinion, if you are planning on staying in your home and you want to invest in some colors that you really like, is if you're going to do a darker color, I'm going to always suggest that you go very saturated, really dark and moody. The problem with this color Rumors is it's not super dark and it's not super light. It's kind of in the middle. I'm not loving that. Now, I'm in my dining room right now, and you can see my fireplace. I painted a very dark navy blue. This is a Benjamin Moore color. I'm not going to do it light. I'm going to go dark. It's called saturated. So if you are planning to do accent walls or painting your fireplace, and you're planning on staying in your home for a long period of time, my suggestion as an interior designer is go darker than you want. You'll love it long term. And if you're selling your house, oh, heck no, you're going to stick with neutrals and whites. Now, in Behr's 2025 color palette, there's only really 2 colors that I would recommend on their color of the year. One is called, Nutmeg Frost. That was Nutmeg Frost. I like it, but you guys know the color of nutmeg. So my only concern with this color is it might tend a little more peachy. I think there's other colors that I would prefer, which I will get into in just a minute. But if you like it, you can use it. I'm not loving that color, but it's better than the rest of the palette if you're selling your home. The other color that I love on Behr's color palette of the year is the blank canvas. Just the name alone tells you kind of what it is. It's a blank canvas. And for a lot of home buyers that are moving into a home, they don't want to have to repaint their house. If you are selling your home, you got to put kind of your seller thinking cap on. It's like you really just want to create a blank canvas for your buyers. So blank canvas is my favorite color for you home sellers out there. But if you are a homeowner and want kind of a really pretty accent color, my favorite color in this palette here for Behr in 2025 is the darker black sapphire color. It's a more saturated navy blue. You can see it's very similar to this. It's almost a little bit more marine color, which I do like. But if you're selling your house, I'm not going to recommend that color. but I do like it. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I'm super angry at Sherwin-Williams. They're supposed to be one of the leaders in this paint industry, and they did not come up with the color of the year for 2025. I mean, like, are you kidding me? So what they did instead is they came up with 4 color capsule palettes. Okay, give me a break. Come on. Like 4? I mean, come on. So they're really trying to be everything to everyone. I'm not in love with that. But with that said, I will put this color palette, my favorite one, out of the 4 on the screen right now. Now, if you are selling your house, there are really only 2 colors that I would even have you consider painting your wall. The first one is white snow. It's a very bright white. It airs on the cooler side. I do like it. It's kind of that base color I was talking to you about. And the second one is that sun bleach. I think that's a little bit warmer of a white. Can't go wrong with either one of these colors for that base paint on the wall. Now, I'm not going to lie. I really do like this mauve Finnery color. It's a little bit more lavender, a little more mauve. And I would suggest if you are getting accent pillows, like you might want to, play with that color a little bit. I really do like it. It's kind of a mauvey, has a little bit of beige and brown into it. I do like the color, but I would never recommend if you're selling your home to paint an entire wall or an accent wall or a fireplace or anything else for that matter. Okay. Just consider it in the back of your head when you're selecting linens or things like that. Now, if you are a homeowner and you want to make some investment into your property and you want to do something a little swanky and a little cool, what I really love is when you have those moldings in the property, whether it be wainscoting or you see these moldings that go all the way to the ceiling and you paint it a really dark saturated color. I love that. I think it's beautiful. And the color that I would suggest if you are a homeowner and plan on staying put for a while is the color clove in this palette. I think it would be absolutely stunning. However, if you are a home seller, you are not going to use that color. I do want to add in there that Malabar color on the Sherwin-Williams color palette. I just think it looks a little dirty. So I see a lot of you wanting to warm it up and stay away from that white color. There's too much color to make it really a blank palette for your buyers. So you want to stay away from the beiges that lean a little too beige. Okay. So stay away from colors that are a little bit more beige. So my all-time favorite paint manufacturer in the whole universe is Benjamin Moore. Okay. When I was doing my design business back in the day, all the designers would just grab the color palette from Benjamin Moore and we would just use that to paint our clients' houses or, select fabrics for them based on the color palette. But I'm not going to lie. I was super mad at Benjamin Moore in 2023. They got a little crazy on us. What Benjamin Moore does best is they have high quality paint. Okay, they have different varieties. We'll get to that in just a minute. But they also do a fantastic job of creating, in my opinion, the best colors out there. When COVID hit, I decided I needed to repaint my own house. I chose cheap paint and oh my God, it just looked awful. So my favorite color palette of Benjamin Moore's is the one from 2022. I'll put it on the screen for you. It was beautiful. I love this color palette. I used a lot of the colors here in this palette to paint my house. That's how much I just went off and used that as my inspiration. So I painted my primary bedroom, October Mist. Now, this is something you have to realize, okay? And I've done a lot of paint and I've done a lot of houses. But when you put a sample on the wall, it doesn't really give you the full impact, right? Even if you were to go paint a whole entire wall, it's still not going to give you the impact. So when I started painting October Mist in my primary bedroom, one wall went up and I'm like, ooh, I don't like it. The second wall went up, I'm like, ooh, it's going a little too yellow. And then finally, when it was done, I'm like, okay, I like it. And now I'm living in it and I love it. So don't get too over focused on painting all these colors on your wall. If you're selling your house, I'm going to give you some paint colors that are true and tried. It's very tricky picking paint colors, okay? Even with the samples. So you just kind of have to jump in there and hope it all works out because it really is a gamble. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Okay, back to this 2022 color palette. October Mist, I love it. I absolutely love it. If you're selling your house, don't paint your house October Mist. The other color that was my primary color throughout the entire home is the color Steam. I love this color. It's a brighter white. My house is really dark. You can't go wrong with it. You can see it. There's a fireplace. And, the main white right here is the color Steam. And of course, this is just a primary white. You can see there's a slight contrast between the two. I love this color. I also use the color Natural Linen in one of my back bedrooms. I love that color Natural Linen. It looks beautiful in the room. If you're going to sell your house, I'm going to say lean more towards whiter. the whiter beiges. This was a little more beigey. It had a little bit more brown into it. I love it, but would I paint my whole house this color? No, I would definitely stick more towards the whiter and the more neutrals. Benjamin Moore's 2025 color of the year is Cinnamon Slate. It's this kind of eggplanty color. I don't know where they came up with that cinnamon. Cinnamon's more browny tones. I love this color. I think it's beautiful. I probably would go a little bit darker, but here's their palette. Is this not just beautiful? Like there's not a single color in this palette that I don't love. They all blend together. They're all complementary. Like I just love this. Now, if you're selling your home, we're probably only going to go with two colors. One is sea salt and the other one is glacier white out of this beautiful color palette. But if you are a homeowner, I mean, any one of these colors are absolutely gorgeous. They all blend. You'll notice that it's a little bit more saturated than some of the neutral colors that I'm going to recommend here next. But oh my gosh, this is just a beautiful, beautiful color palette. If you go on Benjamin Moore's website, they will have these paint colors actually painted on rooms and it will kind of give you some inspiration. But Benjamin Moore, I'm a fan. I love you. Keep doing what you do best. Oh, I just love Benjamin Moore. Oh my gosh. This has been a very frustrating video session. My mic is going out. I've already had to record this video like 7 times. So please subscribe to my channel, help a girl out. Okay, so here we are. Benjamin Moore. There are different varying qualities of paint. I never paid attention to it in the past because I just sell my houses too quickly. But if you are selling your home, you're not going to make that huge investment in paint. So Benjamin Moore has various different types of quality of paint. And during COVID, when I was painting my walls, I had to pay the money for the top quality paint, which is called Aura, A-U-R-A. I was super angry because I spent a fortune on the paint. But oh my gosh, I can't begin to tell you what an eye-opening experience it has been. It is beautiful. The paint goes on like butter. The painter even said that to me. He's like, what kind of paint is this? It's gorgeous. I'm like, I know. And even to this day, like you go touch my walls, it feels moisturized. So if you are planning on living in your house long-term, I highly suggest that you pick the highest quality paint you can. Benjamin Moore's Aura is just like, oh, it's a step above the rest. The Regal lines is also very, very good paint. It's pretty much, I would say, on par with some of the other paint manufacturers' top quality, but that Aura paint is on a whole different level. If you are selling your home, I'm going to highly suggest that you don't spend a ton of money on your paint. The goal here is just to create a base for your buyers. Let them put the high quality paint if they want it. They might even want to change it out. So when you're selecting paint, if you are a seller, just think, okay, I'm putting a base color on the wall. It doesn't need to be super high quality. Now, if you have a super high-end luxe fancy billion-dollar property, of course, you might want to rethink that, and you can ask your realtor for some advice. But there are varying different paint colors from the different manufacturers out there. And I think what some of you have even called in and asked me about the paint colors is they'll say, hey, Audra, I went to Home Depot and I asked for a certain paint color from a different manufacturer, and they said they could match it. What you have to realize is the high-quality paint usually grasps the saturation a little bit different. It's a lot clearer. So sometimes you can have the same color, but because the grade of the paint is slightly different, the color doesn't come out the same. Be frugal where you need to be frugal, but invest in the high quality paint if you are planning on staying there a long time. That Aura paint, by the way, is supposed to last 12 or more years. You can save a lot of money just by that alone. Another helpful little tip is that if you do have a Benjamin Moore paint store near you or a hardware store that has that quality of paint in their store, oftentimes they have reps that come to the hardware store or their paint store, and they do a whole education, a whole presentation on their new color palette, why they chose it, and how to use it. So if you do have that in your area, you might want to ask them if they are having any type of training or any type of meetings regarding their new color palettes of the year. It's super fun. I love going. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go buy a new mic. This has been a very, very, very long day. So subscribe to my channel, please. Help a girl out. And so down below is a list of paint colors that I'm going to recommend anybody selling their house, okay? These are the paint colors. You'll notice they're all very light in color. These paint colors are Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore. Any manufacturer will work. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Now, a lot of you are going to want to get out there and get your paint sample. There's this company called Sampleize where you go on their website and you can order a bundle of different colors and they kind of stick to the wall. You get an idea. It's about $35 a bundle. I'm going to tell you, don't waste your time. It doesn't matter. Even if you put the paint on the wall, it still is never going to give you the full effect. So you're just going to skip all that. You're going to save your $35. And I promise you, any of these paint colors on the sheet will serve you well if you're selling your house. Now, a lot of you have reached out asking me, okay, Audra, I really appreciate the paint color selections. What type of sheen? So I have all the sheens listed here. If you're selling your house, you want to stay away from glossy. And a lot of you are telling me, Audra, glossy's trending. It's trending in and I really like it. Okay, I don't care. It does not photograph well. We get kind of those weird little shimmers, we get glares, and then it's just, I'm not in love with it. We don't want your walls shining at us, okay? We don't want to draw attention to your walls. So I like anything on the more matte side. I prefer velvet or eggshell are my top two favorite. Those are the ones that I use in my house, and those are the ones that I recommend my clients. Don't go glossy, okay? Remember, we're just trying to create a base color for the wall so the buyers can do what they want. So let's not overdo the gloss. Now, one helpful tip, if you are selling your home and you are overwhelmed with how much it's going to cost because the paint's really expensive, you can always take paint that you can find on eBay or paint that maybe a contractor is willing to sell at a discount and just put a bunch of white in there and lighten up the paint color. Or if it's something that you want to do a little bit darker, then just put black or gray in it to darken it. But I'm highly going to suggest that if you are selling your home, do not do the painting yourself. There is nothing that's a bigger turnoff than to walk into a house and you start seeing like the paint on the floor and there's lines that aren't perfect and the paint was not applied properly. So if you are selling your home and if you're actually living in your home and keeping it long term, invest in a professional painter. We can tell the difference and you could potentially be leaving money on the table because the paint looks sloppy. Okay, we got through the video. Thanks for your patience. It was a long one. Please subscribe to my channel, smash the like button. I appreciate your support and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.